Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and after a big game week 1 we're going over the best players to buy ahead of game week 2. I've got 6 options here that performed really well in the first game week that I like as excellent options to bring into the sides from game week 2 onwards. If you're new to the channel or are looking forward to more FPL videos, leave a like and subscribe and have those notification bells turned on as well so you don't miss any future uploads. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So first off, let's have a look at the first batch of players that I really like as good buy options for Game Week 2, beginning with Mo Salah. He got his FPL account off to a pretty good start to the season, 5 points in Game Week 1. Just picked up the 1 assist though, was perhaps a little bit unlucky not to have a goal as he did have a goal ruled out by VAR, so could have had a lot more points there if he was just not quite offside. Unfortunately not to be. His ownership though still has risen by around 5% from Game Week 1. A lot of managers are looking to get him in, and it is with very, very good reason as Liverpool have probably the best fixture for Game Week 2. Bournemouth at home. I really like this fixture for Mo Salah. Liverpool put 9 past Bournemouth last season. Salah unfortunately couldn't get involved in terms of goals or assists that day for Liverpool. But of course, that is a very, very rare occurrence at Anfield especially. Mo Salah is a prolific goal scorer and I'm sure he'll be keen to get his goal scoring account underway after failing to score in Game Week 1 for the first time in 6 seasons. So I think Mo Salah is going to be a superb Game Week 2 option, especially Bournemouth at home is a really good fixture to go after. If you have the funds or you are looking to make a change in midfield, Mo Salah is going to be one of the best midfield picks over the next few game weeks. Not only does he have the highest predicted points of any player for Game Week 2 with 7.5, even higher than Erling Haaland. He's also got the second highest predicted points over the next 6 game weeks. So clearly a player that is expected to score very, very well by Fantasy Football Fix. Of course, he always has great underlying numbers. He's shown this in previous seasons. Looking at his stats so far this year, an expected goal involvements of nearly 0.6. Definitely is not the worst start to the season. And expected FPL points of around 4.3 as well. So a pretty solid start to the year for Mo Salah. Obviously, Chelsea away, to be fair, isn't the easiest fixture. So to still walk away with 5 points in this one is not a bad start to the campaign. But with Bournemouth at home coming up in Game Week 2, Mo Salah, I wouldn't be surprised if he can put up a huge haul in this game and could be a seriously good captaincy contender as well. It'd definitely be a big toss-up between him and Haaland for the armband this game week. Moving on to Ben Chilwell, he was another player with a disallowed goal in Game Week 1. He looked absolutely incredible. His positioning was superb for Chelsea. He was getting so far forward. It almost looked like he was playing as a striker at times for Chelsea with how far forward he was getting on that left-hand side. His price, as a result, has already risen up to 5.6 mil after getting 7 points in Game Week 1. Liverpool at home, obviously a pretty difficult fixture as well, so to walk away with 7 points in this game is a great result. Chelsea's fixtures are absolutely superb from Game Weeks 2 through 8, arguably the best fixtures out of any team in FPL from Game Week 2 to Game Week 8. So I think Chilwell will not only be able to pick up lots of goals and assists, but add clean sheets as well. Unfortunately, Chelsea couldn't get a clean sheet in Game Week 1, but I'm sure they'll be keen to pick up more clean sheets over the coming game weeks as their fixtures do get so much easier. And after seeing Chilwell's positioning in the first game week, I'm sure he'll be piling on the goals and assists this season. Hopefully he can stay fit as he is such a good option for FPL, especially when he's healthy and good to go. 0.88 goal involvements was the second highest figure amongst defenders for Game Week 1. He also had one of the highest expected assist figures amongst all players in Game Week 1. He registered an assist, had a goal disallowed by VAR for just being offside. He took on quite a few shots as well, was ranking towards the top for defenders in terms of shots this game week, and his expected FPL points of 8.62 was the third highest amongst all defenders for Game Week 1, only behind Estupiñán and Disasi. So I think Chilwell is a really, really good pick. His positioning is excellent. He's getting into really good positions to score goals, and he did take his chance when it came to him. Just unfortunate that that one was ruled offside there, but Chilwell looks to be one of the most exciting defensive picks from now up until Game Week 8. I wouldn't be surprised if he is the highest scoring defender during this time period. And Ollie Watkins as well, a player that made a good start in Game Week 1 with the difficult fixture of Newcastle away. He got himself an assist there against Newcastle, picked up 5 points, but Villa's fixtures also similar to Liverpool and Chelsea, despite it being the best in Game Week 1, get really, really good over the next 5 game weeks or so. So I think especially Everton at home Game Week 2, Watkins could be an excellent forward option. He is currently the third highest owned forward behind Haaland and João Pedro with a 25% ownership. And if you're looking to make an upgrade in the forward line and don't currently have Watkins, he could be a really, really good option. Everton at home, an excellent fixture for him to open his goal scoring account this season. Him and Diaby look to be linking up excellently in pre-season, and they showed this once again in game week 1, combining for Aston Villa's goal. His expected goal involvements of 0.6 were on par with Mo Salah as well, so I think he's also a good option. He gets lots of chances for Villa, obviously on PKs as well, is really going to help him. His expected FPL points are 4.24, definitely not too shabby given the fixture. He's also got a pretty good predicted points of nearly 5 for game week 2, and I think he's going to be a really good option for this game because as far as forward picks go, he has one of the better fixtures amongst high-owned forwards this week in FPL. Let's move on to the second batch of players that I would recommend managers keeping an eye on for Game Week 2. The first one here is Bryan Mbeumo. His ownership was only sitting at 8% for Game Week 1. I was very, very happy to have him in my team personally, but I would really encourage you guys to consider buying him for Game Week 2 onwards. Such a good value midfielder at just £6.5 million. He's on penalties for Brentford. He got a penalty Game Week 1, converted it, so there's no way he's being taken off pens for Brentford. He also had a really, really good chance, which he couldn't convert from a cross. He pretty much had an open goal tap in and skied it, which was very frustrating being a Bryan Mbeumo owner. But as a consequence, he did have one of the highest expected goals figures for Game Week 1 with 1.24. Obviously, it didn't have any expected assist stat for this game, but 1.24 XG is extremely high for any given game week. So he is getting into some really good positions. He is getting really good chances. And Brentford's fixtures only get better than Spurs at home in game week 1. They've got Fulham away game week 2, which is a great chance for Mbeumo to continue his goal scoring form. His ownership has risen a little bit up to 10%. Still a huge differential in midfield though. So if you're looking for a great differential punt in the middle of the park, Bryan Mbeumo could be the man to bring into the squad. Fulham away game week 2 is a great fixture. Brentford's fixtures after that still stay very, very strong. So I think he is an excellent option to have in the teams. In terms of expected FPL points as well, 8.48 expected FPL points, ranked in the top 5 for midfielders in game week 1. He's got all the underlying numbers there with Tony out. He's getting so many chances. He's on penalties for Brentford, and Brentford have good fixtures, and he's a good price with a low ownership. There's all green lights for Mbeumo being a good FPL pick. So I think he is such a good player to buy for Game Week 2 onwards. João Pedro as well, another low price gem this season in FPL, just £5.5 million. Got himself a goal in Game Week 1, converting from the pen spot. Also in a similar role or boat to Mbeumo, should I say, in terms of scoring a penalty and having another really big chance that he missed. He had an excellent cutback opportunity, pretty much another tap in which he put wide, but it does show that he is getting in the right positions. He's just got to start taking the chances. He could have had a huge haul in terms of FPL points for Game Week 1. Not to be though, but it's really good to see him getting into the right areas, and that is ultimately the best thing that you can have your FPL players do, is getting into the right positions to score, and João Pedro definitely knows how to do that. Wolves away Game Week 2, a pretty solid fixture. Then he's got another fixture in Game Week 3 with an FDA rating of just 2. So Brighton's next couple of fixtures are looking very, very promising. Having a player at 5.5 mil on penalties as well is extremely good value. So he will definitely be building off those 7 points in Game Week 1 across the next couple of game weeks. His expected FPL points of nearly 8 as well did rank towards the top amongst forwards. So João Pedro has made a great start to the season. Looks superb value at 5.5 mil. Moving on to the third player to buy. This is not necessarily a player to buy right now, as he does have Arsenal at home, but definitely a player to look out to buy in the next couple of game weeks is Eberechi Eze. Despite only scoring 3 points in Game Week 1, his underlying numbers were probably the best out of any player last game week. He took on more shots and attempted more assists than any other player in the whole Premier League last weekend. 8 shots and 7 attempted assists, topped both of those two categories for Crystal Palace. Had an expected goal involvement of 1.2. Very, very unlucky not to have a goal or an assist away to Sheffield in Game Week 1. Despite Game Week 2's fixture not being as good against Arsenal, Crystal Palace do have a couple of good fixtures after this game week. So I think for now, I'd hold off him in terms of a Game Week 2 buy option, but definitely a really good player to buy in the upcoming game weeks, purely based off how good his pre-season was and how good he he was in game week 1. So unlucky not to have himself a goal or an assist in game week 1. He looks to be a superb value option at 6.5 mil. I think he could be one of the highest scoring midfielders at this price point this season. I definitely think Mbeumo and Eze, two superb midfield picks at this price point. A 7.34 expected FPL points as well, highlighted how he was so unlucky only to have the 3 FPL points in game week 1, but with some improving fixtures for Crystal Palace from game week 3 forwards, he could be a really good pick there at 6.5 mil. Also a player with a pretty low ownership of just 15.8%. He has been sold by a few managers to start the year, as his ownership was sitting at over 16% for coming into game week 1. It has dropped a little bit coming into game week 2, so it's just increased as an even better differential option. So I think from game week 3 onwards, definitely look out for Eze as a good midfield pick, especially if he can put up really good underlying numbers and potentially add a goal or an assist with his game week 2 fixture of Arsenal at home. Thanks for watching today's players to buy for game week 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and drop a comment as well. Which players are you guys looking to buy for the upcoming game weeks? Who caught your eye in game week 1? I'd definitely be interested to hear. As always, have those notification bells turned on so you don't miss any future videos. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.